Hello, I'm Austin Wilson, Director of Investments at Hixon Zuercher Capital Management.
And I'm Josh Robb, Director of Wealth Management at Hixon Zuercher Capital Management. And today we're here to give you a market update, an economic update for the month of October, and a forward look into November.
Absolutely. So, starting with markets,
Yes.
Not too shabby. S&P 500 in the month of October was up 2.34%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 2.59%. The NASDAQ seems like it's always leading the way almost.
Year, yes.
Was up 4.72%. Small caps up 1.81%. Mid caps were down slightly, down 0.47%, but pretty much flat there. Developed international stocks up 0.7%. Emerging market stocks up 4.19%. And even bonds eked out a gain of 0.62%. So overall, not a bad month for the markets, continuing and building on the strong gains that we've had really from last year all the way through this year. So doing pretty well there. On another note, why were the markets up? A lot of it was anticipation of the Fed doing what the Fed does, and that's setting interest rates and monetary policy going forward. And they said on October 29th, right before the end of the month, that they were going to cut rates. They were going to cut rates by 25 basis points, or 0.25%, a quarter of a percent. And they did. That was as expected. The markets kind of had expected that for quite some time. The markets had been pricing in another quarter point cut in December. However, during the press conference, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell actually put a little bit of splash of cold water on that and said, whoa, it's no foregone conclusion that we're going to be cutting in December. Now, it seems likely that they probably still will, but he wanted to leave it open-ended at that point. The Fed's in a bit of a tough spot. Their dual mandate is full employment and pricing stability, right? One of each. Well, they're having upward pressure on the inflation side of things, and inflation's hotter than they want it to be, but the labor market has been cooling off, and so they're having conflicting messages on what they should do. Also, their job's a little bit more challenging than it has been in some time, because guess what? They don't have a lot of data coming out right now. They like to be data dependent. Well, when the government shut down, a lot of data not coming out. More on that here soon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what's going on.
Yeah, and that's, like you mentioned, inflation is just over 3%. Which they're targeting, trying to get down to that 2%. And so that's kind of where they've seen that stubbornness.
And inflation, over a long term, has averaged around 3%. 3% is not the end of the world as long as it's relatively stable. And it is thus far. And, expectations from consumers on forward inflation seems to be reasonable. And people are making more money on a year-over-year basis than inflation. So those are all reasons that would give us a little bit less concern with inflation from where it should be.
Yep.
But it is something that is giving them a little bit of pause in their direction.
All right. Real quick, break from the economic news.
In real news,
I guess. Stone crab down in Florida and in the Keys. They have a shortened season there for kind of their regulations. They kick that off, and they do a big stone crab eating contest. So this was the 14th annual one. 50 contestants race to eat 25 fresh stone crab claws.
Okay.
First one done wins.
25 claws.
Yep. And it's as fast as possible. They can bring whatever tools they want to get this done because they're hard shells to crack. Yeah. And so they also get penalized for the amount of meat they leave behind in that speeding
don't leave
process.
Meat behind. No.
So the guy that won, his name was Jonathan Martensu, I think is how you pronounce his last name, but he won his tool, large spoon.
A large spoon.
That's what he said. He ate all 25 in 9 minutes and 46 seconds.
Wow.
So, but
it's a couple of minutes.
Last year he had a small spoon. This year the secret was a bigger spoon.
Okay.
Now, the thing that's cool about stone crab is they're harvested by, they catch them, they pull one claw off, throw the crab back.
It'll grow back.
Because those crabs grow the claws back. So it's a sustainable way of maintaining that environment for them. And so just kind of interesting. That's also why they're kind of pricey. It's a very labor-intensive process.
It sounds like it.
Catch crabs, pull one off, throw them back in. So interesting.
I have never, to my knowledge, had stone crab, but I would like to try it next time I'm in the Keys.
It's a mild flavor. It's not very strong.
I can get down with that.
Yeah.
So in less exciting news, we're going to continue to talk about markets, economies.
Yes.
Government is a big one right now.
Yes.
So the government, as of the time of this recording, is currently shut down. It's pretty much around a month long shutdown right now, and if it extends to midweek, probably about the time this video comes out, it'll be the longest shutdown on record. Now, why? Senate. The Senate is what's holding things up right now. You need to have more than just 51 votes.
60.
You need 60 votes to pass a bill to essentially reopen or keep the government open, depending on what time frame you're looking at. Not really happening right now. All the Republicans, plus if needed, a tie-breaking vote from the vice president, would surely vote one way, but then they need some Democratic colleagues to keep the government open. Not happening. Democrats are sticking to their guns on wanting to continue some of the subsidies from the Affordable Care Act, and Republicans are saying, hey, we can talk about healthcare, but let's just get the government reopened first. Neither one is really backing down, and thus we are in a continued shutdown here. This has caused some headaches in terms of travel. There have been notable delays because, air traffic control is a government-run agency, and those air traffic controllers are being asked to go to work right now without pay.
Because they're essential.
But they're often saying, well, why would I go to work? I need food. I need all this other stuff. So they're picking up Uber jobs. They're doing whatever. They're calling in sick and not going in. So certain areas of the country have a shortage of air traffic controllers. So that's one of the interesting challenges that we have right now. So hopefully, for everyone involved, the government reopens
get that figured out
soon. And on another note, speaking of market performance again, November? We're in November now.
Yes.
November, December, historically strong months. As a reminder, when we look at what we call seasonality, which is how markets trade historically during various portions of the year. We can look at that monthly, quarterly, whatever. But if we look at November, December, it's some of the best months of the year historically. So just hopefully, we're along with you, hoping the markets continue higher throughout the rest of the year. Maybe we get a Santa Claus rally towards the end of the year and finish at everything at all-time highs. That'd be wonderful. Time will tell, because with markets where they are, a lot of great news, priced into current prices, valuations notably stretched by a lot of metrics there. But we're along with you, hoping that we get a Santa Claus rally.
Well, thank you for listening. As always, nothing we say is a recommendation. Please speak with your financial advisor before making any decisions. If you'd like to talk with us, you can give us a call at 419-425-2400. We'd love to talk with you, or you can email us at hello@hzcapital.com.
All right, until next month, have a good one.
All right, have a good day.
Bye.